John Vesely, Secondhand Serenade. It's good to talk to you, John, and great news we're getting you back in Australia for the first time in a long time, 16 years.
Yeah, that seems like a lot when you say it out loud. But I mean, I remember the last tour I did with the Fray over there, like it was yesterday. I'm so excited to come back.
Oh, well, they're coming back too, so,
That's right. They're going to be playing around like kind of near the same time, right?
Yeah, you might be able to catch up with them if you're lucky.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think we're going to be in the Philippines at the same time as them as well. We're playing like 3 shows in the Philippines, and I think they're going to be there one of the nights.
Weren't you just over in the Philippines?
Yeah, I was there with Boys Like Girls last May, I believe, and we did a show in Manila and a show in, I think 2 shows in Manila or a show in Cebu or something like that. But yeah, I love going out there. It's definitely a great time. I mean, I'm on your guys' side of the world more often than I'm on my own.
Well, the good news is we've got colour television in Australia now.
Yeah, that's wonderful. That's great.
What are your memories from last time you were here?
Man, big spiders. Big spiders I definitely saw in the wild, which was you guys have bigger ones than we do here. Incredible fans, really, really fun days out. I mean, I remember skateboarding at Bondi Beach was definitely a great memory for me, and just walking around, the culture, the people, everybody's so fun, so kind, and the nightlife is great. But most of all, just the shows were incredible. Really enthusiastic fans, so I'm really excited to bring this new show over there.
So this time you have a symphony string section. What inspired you to add an orchestral element into the show?
Well, I definitely wanted to, when the idea of playing the 20-year anniversary came up, I wanted to do something to set it apart. Because, I've played a lot of these songs in the past, and, it's very simple. It's me with an acoustic guitar, just singing, my heart out as much as I can to the fans. And I wanted to do something that just really elevated it and made it special for me as well as the fans. And I've always wanted to travel with a string section. It's just logistically more difficult, especially with large stringed instruments. My brother's going to be playing the contrabass with the string section, and that thing's very difficult to lug around. But we somehow made it work for this, and honestly, it's the most incredible I could have ever hoped for. My violin player, Nike, is helping me put together all the arrangements and setting up transitions. And it's just it's a totally different show than it's ever been. And I'm very proud of it.
So 20 years since Awake, an incredible long time ago. When you think back to that bedroom recording in Menlo Park, did you ever have a sense at the time that you would travel the world with this music?
There was always hope, but not really realistic hope. I thought that my music was good, and some people would tell me, "Yeah, this is great," and it just kind of, I didn't want to give up on it. Awake was my last ditch effort. I had a child at that point, and I just wanted to record one album. Just say I gave it a shot before I just went to focused on work and provided for my family, and so I told my parents, and I told my ex-wife now, but my wife at the time, I'm going to record this album. I'm going to take whatever I have saved up, and my dad helped me out. Like we talked it out. My dad helped me out, and I said, I'm going to record this album. If it works out, just give me a year. Just give me 1 year to still be passionate about music. And if it doesn't work out, then I'm going to be 100% here, focused on doing what I can to make sure that we're taken care of. And so I went in the studio. It took 2 weeks to make this acoustic album, and it just kind of somehow happened. I put it up, and people started listening to it, and it was such an incredible feeling for me, because I was starting to think that, boy, maybe I have a shot at like doing this, and now look at me. I mean, 20 years later, this is my job, and it's pretty surreal to say that, because I still feel very fortunate and can't believe that this is what I get to do. So
Well, your dad, who you mentioned, was also a musician, wasn't he? So he had
that's
a sense of understanding what you wanted to go through.
yeah, he definitely was supportive. I mean, he was a jazz musician for about 20 years over in Europe. He was in the Czech Republic up until they left and came here. But his passion has always been with music, and my brother as well. He went to Berklee School of Music. He's an incredible bass player and piano player, very talented. So it's definitely in the family, and so there was compassion there when I said I wanted to do this. And yeah, they're my biggest fans as well. It's really great to do a project. They're actually going to be coming from Florida to see the Nashville show that's going to be next week. So I'm very excited for him to get to see this kind of arrangement.
Does he ever jump up on stage with you?
No, he's a little shy when it comes to like my kind of music, but we've jammed together for sure. I mean, he's like a straight jazz guy. I mean, and he's incredible. He plays tenor sax, soprano sax, flute, clarinet, accordion. Like he plays it all. He's a very talented guy, and I definitely know that I get a lot of that talent from him.
When you first started out, MySpace was a big part of people finding out about you. You must have been
MySpace
one of
was
the
the only
early
part.
innovators of using social media. That was a time when people didn't understand that you could actually build a global audience without having a major record label.
Yeah, that's correct. I mean, that I literally was just talking about this in another interview, and it's so funny that you said it how you did, because at that time it was unheard of to make it big and not be on a label. And it was so difficult because the amount of artists that would get like found or discovered, I mean, it was minuscule. It was so small. And MySpace was the first social media network that not only like allowed artists to put their music up, but it integrated music and the fans so much to a point that they felt like they were one. And it was such a beautiful thing to see this interaction, because the fans would feel part of that success of the artist's growth. Um, like they're part of it, because they were like literally a part of that artist getting to the next level. And it couldn't have been done without them. So, with having charts on there for independent artists, with having the ability to put your favorite song on your page and be like, I heard it first, screw you guys, like this is my band. Like it was a really, really special time. And I mean, it was everything for me. Nobody would know who I am if it wasn't for MySpace. So I attribute a lot of whatever success I've had to that, and the fans that were part of that platform that made that platform run virtually.
Well, it was incredibly successful, wasn't it? I think it was like 15,000 sales in those early days, which is
Yeah.
absolutely incredible. You've got no label, you've got no business around you. So, did you have to create the business of Secondhand Serenade around you?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's funny that you word it like that as well. Yes. I mean, I got together with uh, my manager at the time. He just contacted me on MySpace. He worked at MTV, and he suggested he was like, I can get you maybe synced on some MTV shows if you need help with that. And I was like, yeah, definitely, because he saw my numbers on MySpace and they were doing really well. And then I asked him if he would be interested in maybe like talking about doing management for me. And he was like, well, I can't believe you don't have a manager already. And then we talked about it, and that was kind of my first step. And then when we were doing the label shopping process, I knew I didn't want to, I met with all the big labels, and I did a showcase in New York. And this guy, Daniel Glass, came up to me after the show, and a brilliant guy, wonderful guy. And he said, I'd love to work with you. He just stopped working, just sold off his shares of a label that he built. And so he was kind of in between things. And I was like, yeah, but I'm looking for a label deal. And so he kept in touch with my manager, and he virtually built a label. He said, if I get distribution through Warner Brothers, would you and get funding for the label, would you be willing to sign? And I was like, well, that's definitely a conversation I would have. And he went all the way to the point that he flew to California from New York to sit down and have lunch with me, and just to like put his CFO on the phone to tell me that they closed the deal with Warner Brothers, and the label was good to go. And then he flew back that evening. I mean, amazing guy. And and so I eventually got to the point that I was like, this is the right thing, because he is really adamant about working with me. He believes in me. He sees something in me that not everybody sees. And so we ended up working together, and I signed with him, and it was this label called Glassnote Records that he built literally from the ground up after he saw me play at the Bitter End in New York. And that same label went on to go sign Mumford and Sons, went on to go sign Phoenix, Childish Gambino, Temper Trap, all these brilliant artists. And it all just started with, one little showcase at a small club, and a guy that just really, really believed in me. So uh, getting to do it that way, it is kind of like we just built it all ourselves, like we started it with the idea, and this is how we were going to do it. And then somehow, when we came out with the next record and Fall For You did great, it just laid the groundwork and the establishment for the label and for our future.
I like the way you talk about, some little nightclub being the Bitter End, which was also the nightclub Bob Dylan was discovered in.
Exactly. No, but that's the point, and that's the irony. It's like one of the most famous venues in America, and that's where I got to do my showcase. So it was like amazing being able to be on that stage. But it is a little nightclub. It's like, on Bleecker Street.
I've been in there. I've went in there just to have a beer once. It's a tiny little room.
Yeah. No, it's incredible, and that's my story. It is very surreal that I've just kind of gotten to do the things the way that I have done, and just some of the things that I've been privileged to do. It's still like mind blowing and very emotional for me. And I remember being up on stage there, and because of the way that I play, I didn't have a band. I had an acoustic guitar. I just had an acoustic album. I never even recorded an album with a band, and so it was up to me to like sell it and make people connect just with an acoustic guitar and a vocal. And I got to do it on that stage. And then, when Daniel came to me, he's like, because it was, industry guys, but then there were also like some of the fans that I had through MySpace came there, and they were just singing all the songs, like singing every song. And he's like, I've never seen anything like that, like it was inspiring to watch. And that's what did it for him, I guess, was the connection to the fans at such an early stage.
When I look at one of your set lists, there's Fall For You sitting down the bottom all by itself, all lonely and poor Fall For You. When did you realize that song was going to take on a life of its own and basically become your defining song?
Yeah, well, it was kind of wild. It wasn't my choice for the first single, ironically enough. But it was Daniel's first choice. He's like, something about this song. He like knew it the second I sent over the demo. It was the last song that I wrote on the record. He's like, we need one more song. And so I just started playing piano, and I ended up writing this song, and I sent it to him, just a piano vocal. And he knew that was going to be the single from the get-go. And I wasn't sold on it, but it was incredible to watch it. I mean, it was on radio. I think it was on the top 40 over here for 48 weeks or something like that, like a really, really long time. And I was on tour there pretty much 11 months out of the year. So I was on tour and just getting calls and saying like, well, it went up another, like, it was so slow. It was like such a slow burn. But it made it really exciting because I never knew when it was just gonna like top off and then go down. And yeah, I mean, I think at that point it started to get serious when I saw my shows, like literally during the course of that, like 3 months later and then 6 months later, my shows were just starting to blow up more and more. And it was really surreal for me to see that, because it was something that I was never expecting. And everybody like thinks I was garnering my expectations, because I know when you get signed, everybody just assumes, oh, I'm going to be huge, but that's not the case. And a lot of acts don't do well, and they get shelved, and a lot of things can go wrong. So I was trying not to get too excited about it, but seeing the growth happen over time was spectacular. It was really amazing for me.
A long time ago, young, wise John once talked about the power being in one voice, one guitar. What's old wise John think of that statement now?
I think it's still exactly right. I mean, some of my favorite performances, like I still think you take the full band that's incredible live, and then you do the whole show, and then when they end up stopping for a second, picking up an acoustic guitar, and then band comes off stage, plays that song. That's the highlight of the show for me, oftentimes, and it's just it's meaningful, it's intimate, it's honest. It's as honest as you can get it. You're extremely vulnerable in that situation. You have no backup. You have no cushion. Um, you can't drown your vocals in reverb. You just kind of have to be real and honest. And I think that it's a beautiful form that really connects fans to the artist.
So, from that perspective, does the orchestral addition to the show give you a bit of a comfort zone to maneuver around with the songs in?
Yeah, a little bit, definitely a little bit, but it's still very intimate. There's no drums, there's no like big stuff kind of going on. It's everything is there just supporting that main acoustic and the vocal, and the string parts honestly were written so beautifully. I couldn't ask for a better orchestration. So I feel like it's just kind of a different play. I think it's just really like ramped up, like a very very special version of the thing that I wrote on just one guitar.
Will you be doing the Coldplay song "Fix You" when you come to Australia?
I wasn't. Yeah, I'm doing it, but that I didn't tell that on another interview. I said I'm going to be doing a cover, but the fact that you mentioned it, yeah, we have a very beautiful version of it planned. So I'm very excited to play it. I get like teary eyed like when it comes up, and there's this wonderful intro. It's going to be something really special.
Well, Chris Martin's made quite a few videos when he's been in Melbourne over the years. So,
Yeah, yeah.
maybe you need to make a video for that particular version of that particular song when you're here.
100%. I'm very excited. Because I mean, I've been playing that song for a long time, and it's been a very special song for me. Um, I mean, I think I did a version of that song, what, like 15 years ago, 16, 17, I don't know, long time ago. And I've been playing it ever since whenever I go overseas over there. And yeah, I've never heard it like this. This is going to be really special.
Well, we can't wait to see you back down here. It's been a long, long time. John, great to talk to you. Secondhand Serenade, coming back to Australia after 16 years. Brush up on that
Yes.
accent.
Yeah, I know.
I'll ring the spiders. I'll tell them you're coming back.
Perfect, man. Thank you so much. And